Hey, welcome back. Gauge 4 Gaming here. This is Season 35, Week 3, I believe. Round 3. This is the final round of the season, guys. And I don't want to jinx myself. I don't want to jinx myself. But if I win this round, then I will have a perfect season. I am currently 8-0. And this guy is going to... I was doing the compare, and he's a big boy. 10.8 mil GP. He has everything. See Hondo there. He even has Aphra. He has all the good nom-noms, or Omicrons, rather. I call them nom-noms. Except for, strangely enough, Savage. I did notice he does not have the Savage Omicron. One thing I did looked here to see how many characters he had geared, so I reverse sorted. And that's all that he doesn't have relicked. You can actually see from the bottom of his roster the characters that he does not have relicked. That's insane. Seeing this made me a little nervous. Golly. But alright. Now, I did edit this video. I did want to cut it down because normally my GAC videos are like hour and a half long, and this one took a lot of effort. Yes, I am doing a voiceover. Also, let me do a little plug-in. Please like, comment, and subscribe on the video. It helps me out, especially if you like seeing GAC content. I tried the new counters. I'm in Kyber 1 currently, so yep. Let's go ahead and jump into the battles. Okay, so first up is the Ray battle. I figured, the past 2 rounds I've been able to use Starkiller. So let's go on in and try again, right? Rinse and repeat. So the object here, I did use the Datacron that gives the weakest team member 20% turn meter per dark side ally. So for some reason my Emperor Palpatine is the weakest. So he went first. No point to stun. I just want to get the turn meter train going. So I basicked on Rey to try to burn her down as quickly as possible. I'm used to Rey being in her emotional support animal, which is Hermit Yoda. This is the first time this season that I'm facing JTR, I think. But I got Rey in the damage immunity pretty quickly. A lot quicker than I'm used to, so I'm about to eat a whirlwind here. And then I'm like, okay, she's in the yellow. While she's in damage immunity, let me start working on Ben. Let me spread Shaak to JTR to keep that turn meter flowing. And now that I got Shaak on JTR, I don't want to keep putting debuffs on her because it'll proc her Zeta to cleanse herself. So go back to Ben, and I'm deliberating because I'm like, do I need to heal with EP? That's one. I don't think Emperor can take another whirlwind to the face. So, yep, triggered his damage immunity. Everyone's damage immunity. Yeah. And ultimate. And I'm like, do I drop the ship to heal up EP? But no, ultimately no. I want to use the ship to kill Ben, right? So, oh wait, I'm trying to I'm looking at all the abilities. I'm like, do any of them heal? Can any of them heal EP? Because I know very well that Rey's about to send him to meet God a little early. So I'm like, why not? Let's pop what healing he does have. And I'm just biding time, trying to get Ray to actually take a turn. And, oh, look, Ray just raffle stomped EP. So, I pulled the ship down here because I didn't think Starkiller was going to live to see another day. And I can't kill Ben now because Ray's above 50% health. Ooh, goody. So I'm like, what do I do? This is not going as I've planned. But I kill Ben here. And I got a turn, so he's not rezzed. So I just let it time out. I would rather clean it up with something with Ben gone than to risk him coming back. All right, so let's work the magic of editing here and kind of speed this clip up here. So while we're waiting on this to time down, the Ray, as far as 3v3 goes this season, Ray it's the strongest team on defense, in my opinion. Like, it's the one that, you know, everyone gets anxious about fighting. That really doesn't have that many good answers. Like, you got GLs and you got Starkiller. That's about all you got to beat Ray with. So then I go in and I'm like, okay, I've got to use C. I've got to clean. I could probably have just C-wadded it, but I was getting pretty anxious at this time because already I dropped a battle on a team that I really needed. This guy's roster is going to drain my resources really quick. He just outguns me. So I need to conserve all the teams I can. One shot is about my only hope. And I just dropped a battle. So one-shotting isn't really an answer right now. So yeah, we link up and we play the little game. This is the old pre-bin counter. They were just biding time so C can hurt someone. And we got ultimate. And finally, we got ultimate after Ray eliminates everyone else on the team. And we get rid of JTR. And now the race begins. Fortunately, she's taking her own health down for me. And, of course, she has to get another ultimate before I kill her. You know, just to stab me in the back. Alright, next battle. JMK Cat GK against Jabba. This one, I've got the Datacron where Scoundrel no revives. If you watch my previous videos, you see me use this quite frequently to take out Jabba. It's a stress-free win condition. It's not difficult at all because Chrysanthemum isn't a factor here. You just leap him, he's gone, and now it's just Boosh and Jabba. And once Boosh is eliminated, Jabba really can't do much. Oh, one thing I like to note is, yes, their Jabba does have the level 9 Datacron, the one that gives turn meter, which would probably be a real pain if it was anyone other than JMK I was using, because that stops all turn meter gain. So, the Datacron, I sort of use JMK just to nullify the Datacron. Okay, and that's our first good banner win. We did drop one banner. Next up is the Omicron Qui-Gon Jinn team. Again, if you watch my previous videos, this is my go-to counter for it now. I use a Datacron for ability block on Scoundrels, for Scoundrels to ability block. That way I can send a rocket to the face of Qui-Gon and use Nute there to extort Jedi Knight Anakin and put ability block on him. Yoda here was my first time facing a Yoda variant of this team. In my opinion, it doesn't make much of a difference. Cam is obviously better because Cam can complicate matters. But with the Datacron where they can't resist the ability block, it was fine. Now, the sheer number of relics this guy has makes it to where I was getting max banners with this team. Just about every other battle of this season, I got max banners. A Relic 8 Jedi Knight Anakin, a Relic 8 Yoda, whatever Relic Qui-Gon was. He actually survived. Qui-Gon was high enough and big enough to where he survived the rocket, which normally I just rocket and kill Qui-Gon immediately, and that didn't happen this time. So it was 54 instead of 57. Is what it is. Next battle, Darth Revan. Now, he didn't have the good Omicron, or Datacron, rather, on this team. What you want to do, if you're going to place this team down, you want to put the 20% turn meter for each dark side ally to the weakest member, and that way Darth Revan just outruns everything in the game, and it becomes a real difficult team to beat. He didn't do that. He had a prot up per dot Datacron on this team, which does nothing. So I was able to use Imp Troopers with the turn meter, the same one I'm telling you to put on that Darth Revan team. I used on Imp Troopers, and I was able to outrun them, and Imp Troopers are doing Imp Trooper things. Okay, next up is Dr. Aphra. This team scared me and probably had me the most anxious. This is my first time facing a Dr. Aphra in GAC on defense. So I look up counters on .gg, and it's like JML. And I did have a friend recommend this team to me. He was when I was streaming this, ish. He was on here, and he's like, "Oh, if you Jedi Knight Luke, it's overkill." Blah blah blah. I was copying what he was doing in his GACs. Dr. Aphra is mean, let me tell you. I mean, she was getting so many turns, siphoning potency, doing damage over and over. I brought Barris because I thought, okay, Barris can cleanse. But she only cleanses on her turns, and she's not getting many of them. And BT does so much damage. This battle made me want to go for her. Like, start farming as much as I can for it. Okay. Well, I lost my JML, so I was like, just back out. There's no way. So I go in with Bam Han Chewie because my logic is, okay, can I just put one in Aphra's face real quick and get her off the table? And so I open up with Han, and it barely tickles her. So I put she's going after Chewie, so I put damage immunity on Chewie. So she switches to Han. This isn't going well. So I'm like, okay, damage immunity on Han. We'll just toss damage immunity around everywhere. And she switches, and yeah. And seeing that, I was like, okay, that's all she wrote. I don't know what I'm going to use to get through this team. Because at the bottom zone, I still... Okay, so I ended up backing out because I still have to consider a Lord Vader at the bottom that I gotta. Okay, so I'm like, okay, I use SLKR. I'm like, I just got to get Aphra off the board. I'm not even playing around anymore. I've got the level 9 Datacron for SLKR versus their level 9 Datacron for Aphra. Stunner. I'm debating, do I mass assist here or do I pass the turn back to SLKR? That's why it's taking me so long to choose an ability. Because I'm like, will I kill her? Don't think I will if I do a mass assist because crew hits like a wet noodle. So I pass the turn back and I do a swipe. Of course, the droids go. She cycles her turns and she's going to pop out a stun a little sooner. But I can poke her right back and I kill her. So once Aphra's off the board, I'm less worried. BT can still do some damage, but I had crew available to stun, and now it's just mop up. So don't sleep on Aphra, y'all. She will hurt you. Alright. Next. This is my go-to counter for CLS, at least right now. It works very well. Usually I mark down Chupio. And I usually pray for a stun. This time I didn't get it. This person has a lot of tenacity. Only 30% tenacity on the Datacron that he has. 30% is still a lot, but they're going pretty good. That could have wiped me out, but fortunately it didn't. So I was able to heal back up. And I was finally able to pass buffs. And I keep working. Keep working on Chupio. He's a tanky boy. There's Savior triggered. I'm getting nervous now. Like I'm running out of abilities, and I still don't have Chupio dead yet. So I pass turn to Yoda. I jump. And pass buffs. Give me a little foresight. Buy me some time. There we go. Now Chupio's dead, and now I can start going all in on CLS. Without Chupio, the stuns land a lot easier. And now it's just banner recovery. And yep, not the best banners. Drop 2. So, all right, Lord Vader. So now that I used SLKR for the Aphra team, I go in with bounty hunters, Fennec, Bosk, and I've tried different things in that third slot. I've tried Bam. I've tried obviously Bosk here. I've yet to try OG Mando just because my OG Mando is only Relic 3. And I'm just paranoid that he'll die. So I taunt with Bosk, cleanse some debuffs to get credit toward contract, and I cleanse again to get contract. And now I'm like, ooh, triggered frenzy. Let's do the mass assist. Have Fennec do Fennec things. So here comes the armor shred. Fortunately, Retribution is coming into play here, and I'm just poking Royal Guard in the toe. So right here is one misplay. Oh, well, no, not right here. Okay, so I did call the mass assist. And they have a tank revive cron instead of the prot up cron, which is one mistake on my opponent's part. He had a lot of protection up on dot crons on other teams. He should have put one on this team. That would have made this a lot harder of a team. So right here, I heal instead of calling the mass assist again. And looking back, I probably shouldn't have done that. Just nitpicking my play. Was it right there? There's one time where I do it, and Lord Vader actually does his days right after that. Maybe it wasn't there. Alright, so now Darth Vader's dead. Now I can start going all in. But I miscalculated and too many dots on me. So my team just dies. I'm like, oh no. So I go in with, after much deliberation, I go in with the Nihilus lead Traya Sidious team. I don't have any Zetas on Nihilus. Traya's R3, Nihilus is R3, Sidious is R7 because he has to be. But I'm like, oh god, I don't think this team is going to work. Yeah. I mean, I'm not dying, but I'm getting dots piled up. And at the beginning here, I haven't landed any healing immunity yet. I'm like, oh god, this ain't going to work. But there was a healing immunity. So I'm still in it. It's not over yet. Now, I do run a full potency on Sidious. Like, every piece is a potency set. Potency cross. Alright, I redo isolate. Reapply healing immunity. There's the ability block. And I kill him with Sidious. So I was able to clean up the Lord Vader. Next up is GAC versus Malgus. So there's a lot wrong with this team. One, my opponent put HK-47 with Malgus. Don't do that. Like, ever. I know he's Sith Empire, but HK-47 is not a Sith, so Malgus loses a lot of his bonuses. Second thing is that I'll preach this till I'm blue in the face. Don't put a tank revive cron with Malgus. Put anything else, like, except for the product. All the counters, well, most of the counters people use for Malgus. I know there's a Hondo counter or whatever, but gas, C, the other popular counters all prevent revives anyway. So you would be better off using the turn meter cron, the buff cron, any other cron, unless you see your opponent likes to do gimmick stuff like use Hondo against Malgus in his history. Then yes, okay, put the tank revive. Though honestly, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference against Hondo because Hondo's wrecking face right now. Right here, I'm trying to decide who I'm going to Rexolate. Alright, gas getting up. Boom. See, Malgus really isn't hurting me much because of he doesn't get a lot of his offense and stuff because of HK-47 being on the team. All the other teams I've faced so far this season have had like Darth Revan, Basti with the team, and they hit hard. That one wasn't a threat. So this is a new one I haven't done before. I hadn't done this counter to Dash Bam Nest. I was like, I had to use my bounty hunters, so I didn't know what I was really using for this team. So Adrad. Adrad worked out fairly well. Eliminated Dash very quickly. But I was still worried about Nest, because Nest will hurt you if you gain too many buffs. So now I have to hit her because damage immunity on Bam. So annoying. Tried to steal the Terminator. I was very unsuccessful. I don't know why I hit Nest there. I was being ridiculous. Bam over there just tickling me. I don't like using Bam in 3v3. Not for defense like this. Because his Whistling Birds, which he's always going to do, it's almost impossible to get 20 stacks in 3v3. So right here, I've got ultimate, but I'm holding it because I'm like, she has bonus protection. So now it dropped, use a big hit, full heal everybody, max banners. So Adrad worked very well. He has Savage down with no Omicron, with Starkiller and Mara Jade. So I go in with Bad Batch because at this point I'm getting really low on offensive teams. So I'm like, they start with buffs. Let me try. But I do all that, and I forgot with Starkiller you can't daze, and you can't stun. So, when I remember at some point in this match, and I start getting real nervous. But as long as I can kill one of them, like it doesn't matter who on this team, as long as I can kill someone on the team, then the cleanup will be easy because Starkiller loses all his bonuses. So I'm like, all right, let's drop Mara Jade as quickly as possible. So I think I can do it. I'm reading every ability to try to get turns back to Hunter. She's getting there. She's so close. So I'm like, okay, call Hunter to assist. Bam, true damage. She's in the red. And here comes the Star Destroyer. Yeah, Starkiller hurt me. But Mara Jade's in the red. So I'm like, okay, we'll just go in. This is the last big, meaty team that I've got. And I'm like, oh no, I forgot. Mara Jade and Jedi Knight Luke don't play well with each other. Fortunately, though, I have the event special over there that actually cleanses debuffs and calls everyone to assist, yada, yada, yada. And gives the turn to Jedi Knight Luke, so I do that. And it cleanses that blind off. There's no point to stun this team. I can't do it. So I'm like, okay, middle ability. Let's use that on Shaak T. And we got Mara Jade out at the very least, to where if this team doesn't work, then I can clean it up with something less expensive. The name of the game is get through it, no matter how long it takes you. Here comes a ship again. And I thought at first, I'm like, oh, Jedi Knight Luke took that like a champ. But I'm not hitting him any harder than I was hitting him. So he's hitting me a lot harder than I'm hitting him. So like, dang, well, that was an expensive team. But we can come back in. It's fine. So I end up using Aurra Sing Bounty Hunters with Zam, because I know I can get out in front of everybody. And without the bonuses, Starkiller goes down very quick. So he's already dead. Next up is Savage. This probably would have been a bigger threat if it had the Omicron. So I've got Contract now. And I just annihilate him. Or Disintegrate, or whatever it is. Alright, so that opened up the back. And in the back, I was expecting this team. Grand Inquisitor with the level 9 Datacron. I use Padme every time. Padme destroys this team. So, listen up. Do not put Grand Inquisitor on defense. This is the best use for Padme that there is. Yes, Padme beats some other stuff, but for the investment level, a level 9 Datacron, a legendary character, and a bunch of Relic 7s just get utterly destroyed by a Relic 5 Mace, a Relic 8 Padme, and I think like a Relic 6 Ahsoka. And especially considering Grand Inquisitor can beat a lot on offense. He's very good. Yeah, keep him for offense, guys. I say this knowing currently I have mine on defense as well. I learned. Next time I won't. But yeah. I'm just biding time. Ninth Sister keeps just barely hanging on. There we go. And 54 banners. Alright, Mon Mothma in the back. I'm out of just about everything at this point. So I go in with Vader thinking I'm going to get clever, and I was going to save Wampa for another team that's in the back. So I go in with Vader because, you know, low-level relics. These are all R7. But I'm like, he can beat low-level relics easy. I'm just going to go in with Vader with a Datacron and destroy them all. So I'm ability blocking because I don't want Kyle Katarn getting too rambunctious on me. And I just wanted an excuse to use Darth Step on Me with him. Darth Helm. Okay, let's work some magic again. Speed this up. Because this is Mon Mothma doing Mon Mothma things. And it takes forever. So I lost Talon. I lost Marauder. And now I'm like, oh, great. What am I going to do? I got one shot. And I threw the saber and it whiffed. So I just leave. I'm like, okay. Let's go back on up top. And let's just take care of the First Order team. This is another one that I'm like, okay, don't put on defense, guys. First Order gets... It does not matter the combination of First Order team. It doesn't matter the combination of Datacrons you've got currently. Other than SLKR. I'm not talking about Galactic Legends. All other variations of First Order can be Malak soloed. I've done it every... I want to say just about every round there's been a First Order team, and I just Malak solo it every time. I keep Malak for offense just for this in 3v3. Oh, Malak does it in 5v5 too, by the way, guys. Like, Malak, you can Malak solo any non-GL. That includes the First Order type pilot, Omicron. I did that last round. This one is a team with the level 9 Sith Trooper Datacron. So I'm like, okay, I just need to take Sith Trooper out, and this team really doesn't do much after that. So, Sith Trooper's dead. All the damage is gone. Now it's just cleanup. I really love Malak soloing things. What is it? Gom that does the gobble? He calls the... I watch Gom a lot. Alright, 59 banners. I think that's the best banner win I've gotten so far. So, I find Mon Mothma there, and I'm like, okay, we're just going to Wampa it then. Fine. They want to be difficult. I go bring in the big boy, and I'm speeding the battle up because all Wampa battles take forever. So you'll see the clock go down pretty quickly here. Kalkadarn's dead. He's back. Now they are hitting me very hard, but this is a solid R7 team. Again, this guy doubles me in relics. He doubles me in the amount of mods he has. Now, we have about the same average secondary speeds for our top mods. In fact, I think I actually edge him out just a little bit. My average is 25.8. His was like 25.4. Like, he just has like 100 or 200 more 6-dot mods than I do. He has more Zetas. He has more everything. So for Cara Dune keeps getting potency up, and it's ticking me off. I keep waiting for her to drop it. And I keep trying to switch, but when I come back, she has taunt again. So I have to kill her real quick, drop taunt, and then quickly switch to Kalkadarn. Alright, so at this point I've got a minute left, and I just killed Kalkadarn. I'm not gaining any traction whatsoever. I'm stuck behind Cara Dune. So I kill Kalkadarn, I'm like, fine, we're quitting here. We're stopping. Kalkadarn's dead. Problem solved. So I go back in with bounty hunters. I'm about to rocket Cara Dune in the face with her, like, BFF. Both versions of him. Young version and dad bod. So she's not low enough right now, so I'm like, okay, ability block. And I brought Cad Bane for another potency up dispel. And Dad Bod Boba's here. I don't know how to use him. I took him just because he's R7. So, why not? And again, I'm draining the bottom of the barrel here. That was it right there. I was like, why didn't you die? Just one more buff on her, and she would have died. So I'm starting to lose my people now. Cara Dune's really starting to tick me off. And so I just forfeit. I'm like, whatever. So, you know I'm getting low when I'm using leftover Inquisitors. Fifth brother, second sister, eighth brother. All the rest of them are on defense with my Grand Inquisitor. I know. Do as I say, don't do as I do. So, I start off by, spreading AIDS to everyone. Spread some burning. And my Mothma just cleanses it all off. Second sister hits so hard, though. It's nice. And there we go. Second sister brought home the bacon. So at this point, I'm like, I'm out of stuff. In the back, he still had Hondo, and there was an Admiral Raddus team that I ended up throwing like 15 teams at, and I could not beat because I didn't have anything. So I just said, all right, let's go on to ships. I figured y'all didn't want to watch me waste 2 hours of my life trying to get through an Adrad team. So I just move on to ships. That's what you're seeing here. There was nothing in his ship zone that really surprised me, as you'll see here. I mean, this is the traditional lineup for Executor. I don't really struggle with this lineup. There has been at least one time this season where the triple attacker lineup has beat my Profundity. Which caught me off guard. Like, it deleted my Han's Millennium Falcon before I even really got a turn. This is not that lineup, though, so for anyone that has the Profundity, this is how your squad, this is how your fleet arena goes. And there's Ultimate. It's so satisfying. Especially how many times Executor has really been the bane of my existence. Just utterly destroying it makes me so happy. And I was almost called a reinforcement, but I was like, why? Let's not waste the banners. There we go. Max banners against Executor. Alright. Next lineup is Malevolence versus Empire. This is another one of my go-to counters that I usually... This is what I normally use against Empire. Do the AoE offense down because I can't dispel the target lock anyway. Give some aids. Try to burn the bomber down as quickly as possible. Now this is a high GP fleet. This was almost 600,000 GP by itself. Okay, so now I call Spy, and I'm like, let's flip a coin to see who else I can kill here. And all the assists got dodged, so that was pointless. And there we go. 68 banners. Alright, now we're doing the final fleet, Negotiator versus Raddus. With Raddus, I like taking out the tank first because the tank is so annoying. If you're not careful, the tank will just heal everybody up. So I get it off the board, and that way I can focus on Rey's Millennium Falcon without her getting too many buffs and one-shotting my entire board, etc. So I normally pull Implo as my first reinforcement, but here I'm like, I need to get those buffs off Rey. So I call Ahsoka. And then I'm like, alright, let's try to just kill her right out. Fortunately, as the story of this entire Grand Arena, Rey survived with a little bit of sliver, so I ended up having to take an extra turn. Fortunately, Anakin's basic cannot be evaded, so Foresight does nothing. Now I call Implo, give the turn meter to everyone, and big hit. Now Ahsoka's basic can be evaded, so that just ate the Foresight. And that's it for fleets. Alright. Now let's look at the final results. Okay, so 1548 banners, and that's it, guys. This is the final result. He never attacked me. I was expecting him to clear my entire board. He never did. So I finished Season 35 with a perfect 9-0 record, and I've got bumped up to back to Kyber 1, where I was trying to get back to. And thanks for watching, guys. Hope y'all have a good one, and I'll see y'all next season.